What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Man, Ryan and I was cutting up just before the part started recording. Kind of like there's so much that's happened within the span of like a week and a half. Like I'm kept both Ryan and I got back from vacation on Monday. Ryan got back from vacation yesterday. Much needed vacation for both of us. Kind of got refreshed, recharged. And I guess obviously the first question that everyone wants to know is, what was your favorite track from the Nader mixtape Apology Tour?
That's cool, bro. That's cool, dog. That's cool. My man was dropping volumes, you heard me? This for the Jews. This for the blacks. This for the gays. This for
Another one.
Keep going, free.
Be hot.
I was like, man. Twitter and social media is a motherfucker, bro.
I mean, yes, it is, but also like all I'm gonna say is social media is 100% a motherfucker. But I'm also gonna say is that if you don't have thoughts like that to begin with, like you can't get God.
Hey, you can go and search that F word and look up that boy Wolf. You ain't gonna see it used.
Nope. No, sir.
You know why? Because I know people. I know people that are gay. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hurtful fucking word. You know
just like being black and being called,
charcoal. Bro, like
I was gonna say the N word with ER, but
oh no, that charcoal shit, like look. I'm gonna be honest. Like me, I'm a passive person when it comes to like Twitter jokes, and I love dark humor. I don't, I'm not, people say overly. It's not about sensitivity, but I like comedians. I like people that just, I like people that cut loose when they telling jokes and shit like that, bro. But it's like, be mindful, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, be mindful. You're not black, first of all, and you talking about people's skin color and shit like that, man. My wife, I got a dark skinned wife, dark skin, beautiful, love it. I love me some dark skinned women.
Preach.
And I mean, she read that shit and she was pissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not gonna rehash everything, but he said his apologies and shit like that. So I'm gonna let bygones be bygones or whatever. I never had no issues with Nader. He was always cool with me. But like, bro, you in the public sphere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the public sphere, and you put that shit out, it's gonna come back to you, man. 100%.
100%.
Every time. Just keep it cool and sweet, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. And just like you said, you can search I believe we both been around. I think our both Twitters were created in 2011. Maybe I could be wrong, but I think both our Twitters were created in 2000. So it's like, fuck, we're going on like a decade. Wow. That's fucking wow. A decade on Twitter as a social media platform. But if that's not who you are as a person, like it's not, you know, we as we know, we always getting jokes off on Twitter, bro. It doesn't matter
always
what the subject is, bro. Like, we're so desensitized in this day and age in this society. When that whole shit happened, I believe it was in Pennsylvania, where like the dude came out with the semi and just fucking shot the girl. And bro, like there was tweets on Twitter about it, and I felt so bad because I was like, these are low key kind of funny. Like, why am I laughing? Like, these are people, like these are people getting fucking murked on like on.
Bro. I'm the same way, bro. I tweeted earlier. I was like, look, I laugh at a lot of fucked up shit, but usually it's the reaction. It's just the reaction.
No mames.
It's just the reactions to some of that shit.
It's inside.
But at the end of the day, it's sick. Like, it's like, man, it's some sick shit. Like, we see death and murder every day, man. Like, just turn on Twitter and like somebody get murdered. Like, you wake up in the morning, you seeing somebody get murdered. Like, what the fuck?
We're so desensitized. Like, we'll see it on the timeline, we'll watch the video, be like, all right, and just keep fucking scrolling, bro. Like, it was just all
right. Talking about Saints cornerback issues and shit. Like,
what? Like, you watch the video and you're like, all right. Then you tweeting like, what are we gonna do about the CB2? Like, just doesn't matter. I wonder. This would be a good pod question for our boy Ramon to talk about is, you know, how desensitized he is with the beat that he covers, you know, for the Advocate. But anyway, I had to start like that. Like I predicted when we last recorded last week before we went on vacation, I said we're gonna go on vacation and it is gonna happen where some Saints news are gonna break. Like I said that Thursday night, I want to say, or maybe Wednesday night. No, it was Wednesday night or whenever we recorded. And sure enough, Friday morning, I'm out to breakfast with my daughter. We will go to a restaurant, which can I just say that eating, and we were the only ones in there because we got there so early, but I just want to say that eating in an actual inside a restaurant is a very still jarring experience. Like a year later, like it feels like shit. Like is this okay? Like I'm okay. But anyway, you know, so we're eating whatever. I check my phone and what? Marshawn Lattimore arrested in Ohio. Like I wasn't even trying to speak anything to existence. I just know how the Saints operate, man. I just know our team that we root for. Shout out to, I believe his name is Jerry Wiley on Twitter, who is, I want to say, a retired police officer, who kind of took Mike Triplett's post or, you know, article that he wrote up about it. And then as a former law enforcement, he kind of broke down, like, by the law, what he kind of felt was fishy about the arrest and the fact that, if I remember correctly, Marshawn wasn't formally charged for anything, but yet he's in a orange jumpsuit and he has to take like a fucking mugshot. Like, being a social worker, knowing about the law, like if you don't read me my Miranda, you don't put me under arrest, why are you giving me a fucking mugshot and why am I in a jump? So anyway, so there's still a lot of details that needs to be flushed out about the entire situation. Probably is going to be investigated by the NFL, blah, blah, blah. But what was your first reaction when you saw this besides the Saints can't be normal?
That was Friday that happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was just about to get on my flight. I looked at it and I just closed my phone. And I just about my fucking business. I was like, and then I saw he wasn't charged. I was like, this is bullshit. Now, I think he did get charged later. I don't know. I think it was a couple of days ago. They did formally charge him with something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. But I don't know, man. Like Cleveland, bro, like come on, Lattimore, bro. Like, I don't know what he did. Like, I don't know if he was guilty or anything, but man, like, I listened to that. I don't know, remember what season 3 of Serial or whatever, where Sarah Cole,
Yes. One of the most underrated seasons of Serial, by the way.
Extremely underrated. And with Sarah Koenig, like, they just spend like a whole year in the Cleveland justice system. Like, they just hang out at the courts. They hang out with the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, the people, the criminal, well, not criminals, but, you know, people that's getting charged, and really flesh out just the criminal justice system, which, you know, is fucked up in the entire country. But Cleveland's fucked up. Like, it's fucked up out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just hope he shake back. I know he's out of jail or whatever. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully, you know, just gets good representation and, you know, can beat whatever charges they got coming. Because, I mean, shit. I mean, come on. Nobody was hurt. That's the only thing I care about. You know what I'm saying? Was anybody hurt? You know, was anybody assaulted or anything like that? That's the shit that really gets you. But shit like this, man, like, he, you know, at worst, he could see some kind of suspension if it's really bad or whatever. But I think he'll be fine. He just got to let the court work its way through, which could be a while. So it was just one of the things like, oh, fuck, man, gotta be something.
Here.
And for him, I ain't gonna lie, low key, I was like, man, Saints need to go ahead and make that little offer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was my next question.
Sign that motherfucker now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, want to strike it right now for you be doing, you know, we be doing a little time or something. You
know? Bro, we're sick in the, but we say that a little jokingly, but like, if you're Mickey, you know, you go to his agent, you're like, hey, Marshawn needs to take this Tavarius fucking White deal that he's on. Like, he's not getting Jalen Ramsey money. Like, you got this arrest. Oh,
I mean, we gotta deal with NFL investigations and shit. Like, I mean, what the fuck, man? Take this little deal, we gonna hold you down, you know? Keep it like that.
Yeah, it was something that kind of popped in my mind when I first found out too. And up to now, the Saints have yet to address their starting other cornerback position, unless I don't think they're going to go into the season with it being Patrick Robinson. They were linked to Richard Sherman kind of early in free agency. I don't know when if this did happen, but they were supposed to bring in former Colts corner TJ Carey for a visit. Don't know what happened with that. If that went down, it's a hole, man. Like, if you ask me, like, as of right now, what's the biggest hole on the team? Obviously before the draft, they're still free. They're still players, man. Like,
yeah.
But like, what's the biggest hole on the team? To me, it's easily, you know, that cornerback 2 position.
Yeah, it's left cornerback. You know, it's a hole, man. Like, and I think they will sign someone before the draft because they just don't like to go in the draft without having their musts checked off. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, CB2 is a must. It could be Richard Sherman, and you know, if it is Richard Sherman, I like that they're just playing a waiting game. You know, don't sign Richard Sherman the first day of free agency. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the market settle. You know, see where it's at. You know, and then you can work out a little bit.
That market done fucking.
That bitch cold. That bitch cold as a motherfucker.
And it got cold quick, bro. Like, day two, that market.
Bro, like early today, I was like, you know, I was looking at Jameis Winston highlights earlier today. Just, you know, it's like, let me just look at some Jameis Winston. And, you know, he had Brashad Perriman balling out. I was like, I forgot about that. He
did.
I was like, man, I said, let me check and see where Brashad at. Maybe we can sign him. Shit, he already got slipped up.
By the Lions.
With the Lions. I'm like, well.
on a cheap ass deal.
On a cheap ass deal. I'm like, well, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers getting zipped up. So, yeah, I mean, it's something I think they will address in the next couple of weeks, but because they don't want to have to go into the draft having to draft a corner. You don't want to do that. You know
right. So this episode will probably go up tomorrow, so it'll be posted April 1st, which means that it's when you're listening, depending on what day you listen to this, it's going to be potentially 28 days from the draft that they got work to do. Like that's all I'm going to say. They almost got a whole month to figure out what they want to do at the cornerback, not just cornerback. There could be other positions that they fill. But the Saints have. I mean, we made fun of them the last episode. They've signed some players. They done got some guys. Started off by signing former, I believe he was with the Broncos tight end Nick Bennett, Ohio State connection. Probably is going to back up Adam Troutman. Offers, I don't know if he's as good as a blocker that Josh Hill was, but it does offer good run support and blocking just in the passing game from the tight end position. And then they signed a guy that I was a fan of as a prospect at Villanova. Former Chief, the Chiefs drafted him in the second round. Tono, Tana,
yeah.
Him.
Tana.
You wanna say the last name?
No, you can add that shit. Fuck that name.
Bruh, can you imagine if they draft that Illinois wide receiver, bruh?
Oh, screw that shit, man. Like, come on, man. Change your fucking name, bro.
Just not. I could imagine. Could you imagine, like, if we work for like WWL, bro? Like, we just in the booth, just us, fired, just fired.
Change your name, bro. I mean, fucking Chad Johnson changed his name to Ocho Cinco. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. But yeah, I like Toner, man. Like, I like Toner. I like I'm not saying he's to come in and get 10, 12 sacks and nothing like that, but he's a player. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's a bum. He's a guy that can come in and give you something.
Yeah, he started quite a few games. Like he started quite a few games for the Chiefs. As at worst, he was an NFL starter. Like I don't know, like how good was he? Yeah, but he did start. It does kind of add depth to the edge position after Trey left in free agency. And honestly, like let's talk about it. Like you talk, I think Mike Triplett put out an article, I think today or yesterday, just basically saying like, with Trey gone, 2 firsts, this your year, bro. like this is it.
To be honest, like last year was his year. This is it. Like this is like last year was it for like his Saints career. This year is it for his NFL career. Like he has to decide if he's going to want to be like a NFL. Like he has the ability to be like an NFL player for the next 5 or 6 more years. You know what I'm saying? Like he has that ability. Oh, he could be out the league next year. And he might want to be, and that's fine. Like that's okay. Like it's okay. He might be a guy that looks at his contract and like, shit, I made 10, 12 million. I could live on this the rest of my life. Watch anime, play video games, and chill. Like, if you ask me, like that's me. Like I'm like fucking right. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Be good, man. Be good.
Good, Gucci. You know what I'm saying? But as a Saints fan, I want a motherfucker that's ready to go out there and eat quarterbacks, eat, feed me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's it for him, man. Like the Saints defensive line, when you look at it, I said earlier today, I think by signing Turner and, you got Big Creep out there, Granderson, he out there working, boy, working, sweat flying all off, working on pass rush moves. He ready. So he want 2 first spot. He like, nah, little daddy, I'm about to come. I'm gonna be a starter. And
I told you this in text message, like, and that we don't know what's going on, right? We don't know, right?
No,
but that video of a Big Creep posted, and I couldn't help but think, like, I wonder if Two First is doing something like that right now. Like,
man, I just thought of Two First with them fucking little Van sneakers, dirty ass Van sneakers, and just that fucking gold hair, bleached hair, man. I'm like, man, that dude is sitting there. He's sitting there home watching that King Kong Godzilla movie, man.
Out here watching Demon Slayer on Netflix, bro. Just dropped on Netflix, bro. Watching Demon Slayer. Come on, man.
Big chillin'.
I bet my daughter, who is super into anime and Two First, could have a conversation for 2 hours talking about it.
I bet Two First cool as shit. Like, I bet if you like hung around us, probably cool as fuck. Probably talking about MCU and fucking Star Wars and shit.
Oh, without question. But you
cool as hell.
But you bring up like, hey, like some stunts, or you're like, oh well.
You're like, oh man, I don't know.
And here's the thing, right? It's draft season, and I think this year, and I listened to this a little bit on the podcast with Tony Pauline and Trey Wingo from last Wednesday from the Pro Football Network. They do like a Wednesday draft show, whatever. I listened to a little bit on the drive back, and it's just, I think it like this year draft season is going to be a year like unlike any other, because at least with last year, like Trey Wingo said, last year they still had the combine.
Yeah.
They still had combine, that pro days. They could still like meet with players and do their
scouts. The scouts did their visits during the year and all that shit. The scouting was done. Like
it was done.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Saints and Cesar Ruiz still did they need some more stuff. Anyway, Zach Bond. But this year, I think a perfect example of this is a player like Dwayne Haskins, right? Drafted by Redskins, Washington football team. There was like some chatter, Dwayne ain't that guy. Dwayne don't got these habits. And he went 17 overall, and Dwayne is like a backup right now.
Yeah.
And when a team is investing, obviously all draft picks, right? But especially in the first round, like they got to have their intel tight. And so we heard it a little bit, even after Marcus Davenport was drafted, like football ain't really his he plays football, but is it his passion?
Yeah.
And it just goes to show this year, this upcoming draft, it's like the draft is always a crapshoot. This year is going to be a shit shoot, bruh. Like because teams are drafting players who haven't played in a year. Fucking Jamar Chase just ran a 4.38 and he hadn't played football in a year, bro.
In a year.
But like he probably still going top. He's going top 10. Like you got, medical. So the big thing with the combine is, all the players get the medical check, and so
huge.
Medical check and medical recheck, and like Tony Pauline was saying on the podcast, they're doing something similar for the medicals and the medical recheck, but because it's not going to be at the combine, they're doing it a different way. There's going to be maybe 100, I think he said close to 100 players that may not get a medical recheck or something like that.
Ooh, that's huge, bro.
Huge.
Because combine, throw anything else out. The medical is the most important thing that comes out the combine.
Easily.
And you got the same doctors and all that shit, so team doctors. So I mean, this draft gonna be crazy, bro. Which I mean, I don't know. You got to be careful about how much stock you put in this draft. I'll just say that much. I think the Saints. This is an important draft for the Saints.
Huge draft
for the Saints. But I mean, every draft's a crapshoot. I think this is going to be more of a crapshoot than most.
Yes.
Because even if you're like, okay, I'm going off the tape, I'm just going strictly off the tape. You might only have 2019 tape. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Of a 20-year-old. Like, what would you think of when you were 20? You're like, you know what I'm saying? You could 1 year could change your whole life.
Bro, so at 20, let's see. My daughter was born when I was 22. So, like,
bro, you was out here. You was out here wilding.
Yes. Then it's like, oh, I'm a dad. I'm like I have to like, you know, be the head of a family. Like it changes everything, bro.
20 years old, I was in a 2X tall tee, 2X tall white tee with 2 sweatbands on my head and fucking do-rags and shit. Walking around with a bottle of Grey Goose, wilding out, you know, some fucking Air Force Ones, you know what I'm saying? Just hanging out the fucking Carl Canal Street.
Couldn't tell you nothing.
Couldn't tell me shit, man. All I had was one bill, a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? That's all I paid. A cell phone bill, baby, making $7 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like living the life.
Living, bro. Just living.
Living, man. So, like, bro, like, this draft is gonna be crazy, bro. Like, all these predictions and mock drafts and shit. I'm like, man, like, we don't know nothing anyway, but this year we don't know shit
at all. And so that's a perfect segue. So we talked about the Marshawn news on Friday. That got kind of buried because the Dolphins trade their first round, their 3rd overall pick to the 49ers, drop down to 12. And then they trade to the Eagles spot. So they go back up. So now the Dolphins are picking 6 overall. Eagles are picking 12. And the fucking San Francisco 49ers are slated to pick 3rd overall in the draft. And the first thing I thought about is like, we don't know how this is going to work out for the 49ers. Obviously, you don't give up essentially 3 first-round picks because they gave up a pick. They gave up the current pick in this draft at 12, and then a pick next year and a pick in 2023. You don't trade that kind of draft capital to move up to draft anything but a quarterback. And my first initial thought was, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I appreciate like them acknowledging Jimmy ain't it.
Yeah.
We need a true franchise quarterback. And I just go back to like, if Sean had that conviction on Mahomes, I'm not saying he needs to trade like multiple first round picks. Now, if the 49ers do this and they fucking miss, they don't get select the right guy. Whoo, buddy. That's a shitty place to be in. But I just looked at it like I appreciate what both Kyle and John Lynch are doing because it's what I wish Sean would have done in 2017 when he had that much conviction about a quarterback.
Hashtag let it go, nigga.
I'm not even complaining. I
feel you. Yeah. I feel you, man.
And just like, bro, like this is like this because to me this signifies the Niners think that with their team, with the healthy Nick Bosa, blah 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 blah, that they have the pieces because they're not fucking far away removed from being fucking up double digits in fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. You know, they got salvaged by injuries last year. And to me, it just shows like they have conviction that they can be contenders and can be competing for championships if they have a franchise quarterback. And I can't be mad at that. Can't be mad at the vision.
You ain't shit, man. You ain't shit unless you have the quarterback position figured out.
That's it.
That's just the case. Like I know some people don't like it. Like, oh, you know, if you build a great defense and a good offensive line and defensive line and, you know, just get a good solid QB, you can, no. You need a fucking quarterback. You know, you need a top 11-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like 11-ish franchise quarterback to come in. And that's the only, you got to, man. It's the most important position in sports. So, no, I respect it, man. Like, just them making the move and really being like, you know, being bold and because look, I think it was Greg Rosenthal. I was listening to the podcast earlier. He was like, a couple of years ago, San Francisco had 2 first-round picks, and they got Solomon Thomas and Reuben Foster. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, first-round picks, ooh, big deal. Like, get your fucking quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't even trip about what you're trading off for. Oh, they gave them 2 first-round picks. Like, big fucking deal, man. Like, you got to go get the players you love, man. And that's the question. Who do they love? Because, okay, they know they're not getting Trevor Lawrence. I'm sure they pretty much know they're not getting Zach Wilson. So is it Mac Jones? You know what I'm saying? Trey Lance? Like Mac Jones looking kind of high. He looking like a little Kyle, you know. Bruh, like I remember you saying
come on, man.
It, bro.
I said it on our Mac Jones show. I said if you look at how he plays the game after I watched him, I said, watch out for San Francisco at 12. I said it, bro. I know Kyle Shanahan has telegraphed for years what his type of quarterback is. And I've had like a very in-depth discussion with my girl. My theory is that, and who knows, they may draft Justin Fields or Trey Lance at 3, completely put this to bed, right? But I have a theory that Kyle, maybe it was the RG3 experience. Maybe it was just him being cut from the Mike Shanahan cloth. He wants his offense to be ran how he wants his offense to be ran. Exactly. And players like Justin Fields and Trey Lance, and it may sound like I'm coming across like it's like a black-white thing. I think just stylistically, he's so OCD about his offense that quarterbacks making plays off script makes him be like, ew, don't like that, gross. Right. So, I mean, even when he became the head coach of the 49ers, like when Kirk Cousins was almost about to be a free agent before he got franchised by the Redskins, the team everyone was penciling Kirk Cousins to go to were the 49ers. Yeah. And it was like a known secret that Kirk Cousins was going to be the 49ers quarterback, and they were going to pay him the money to do that. So he has a type. And as soon as I watched Mac Jones filmed, I was like, man, he does a lot of things that I could see Kyle Shanahan liking. Now, if they fucking trade 2 first-round picks or 3 essentially first-round picks to go from 12 to 3 to draft Mac Jones, though,
I think it's gonna happen, bro. Like he was at his pro day. He hadn't gone to any other pro day except Mac Jones.
His eyes on him. The day that trade happened on Friday, I first said that I felt that if they were, if of the quarterbacks, because everyone immediately thought Fields or Lance, and I said Lance to me seems like more of a Kyle guy than Justin Fields is, but I said the quarterback who's more of a Kyle guy than both of them is Mac Jones. Like I said that on Friday, so I just if the 49ers draft Mac Jones at 3 overall, just remember that you heard it here first on the Mac.
You can see it though. You can see it how Mac Jones plays.
Yes,
you can see it. Like he's athletic enough to run that boot action. He has a nice arm. He's smart. Like
mostly pretty accurate.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he's I wouldn't say NFL savant or nothing like that, but he's breaking down shit. You know what I'm saying? He took Sarkisian's offense to the next level. Bro. At first,
Mac Jones was cooking in Steve Sarkisian's offense, bro.
He was cooking, man, to the point Alabama players Mac Jones better than Tua. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. So I just think it's interesting. Who's gonna if it's gonna work out? Who the fuck knows, bro? We don't know shit. Justin Herbert. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know, man. We don't. I'm not saying you can't have conviction about players. Sure. I watch certain players and I believe in them. I'm not. If I'm wrong, I'm right. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, when you get on the field and the football, touches the hands, we don't know what we're gonna see. So Mac Jones could end up being the best quarterback out this draft.
Could be.
Could be. You don't know.
And I could just see. I remember when we watched Brandon Ayuk at Arizona State as a prospect, and him kind of just running routes where we could kind of envision Brandon Ayuk in the Saints offense and just how Sean Payton would call plays. I can see Kyle Shanahan envisioning in his mind, Brandon Ayuk running kind of like that deep post.
Yeah.
Off of play action and fucking Mac Jones just rolling out and just squares up and because Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, like Mac Jones can throw that bitch now. Come on.
Yeah. Kyle Shanahan, he got Matt Ryan the MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Now.
Like, think about that. You wouldn't think of Matt Ryan as like this super athletic quarterback or nothing like that. But he had Matt Ryan cooking. Say what you want about him, but he was cooking. Once he figured out the Rubik's Cube of that Kyle Shanahan offense. Because Kyle Shanahan, the thing about his offense is it's kind of like Sean Payton. He gives you answers.
Yes.
Like the defense is going to present this set of problems to you, but within the scheme of the offense, there are answers to just about every single problem. So you just have to understand that offense enough and just be like quick-minded enough to understand what those answers are. And that's why he kind of gets on Jimmy Garoppolo, because Jimmy Garoppolo sometimes he just doesn't see the answer. Like, it's like, bro, it's right there. Like, why aren't you throwing it? You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's looking for. He's constantly searching for it. That's why he loved Kirk Cousins, because, when him and Kirk Cousins was together, they cooked. You know what I'm saying? They did well together. So, I think that's what he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? That Kirk Cousins kind of just guy that can come in and run his damn offense. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. And Sarkisian worked with the Falcons too and carried Shanahan's offense over when Shanahan left. You know what I'm saying? So some of those things, Mac Jones probably knows at least maybe a very simplified version of some of that stuff already, or some of the the verbiage and all that shit.
Yep.
So I don't know. It just makes sense, man. I just think it's interesting because. Fuck the 49ers, man. I can't stand them, bro. Like, I don't want them to be good.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
But as an NFL fan, I like, just seeing motherfuckers work. But as far as, like, the Dolphins, it's like...
They got to be right, bro. They got to be right.
I hope they're right, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like
if they traded out of 3, where they could have had Fields, Lance... could you imagine if they stayed at 3 and drafted Mac Jones, bro?
That would be awkward as hell, man.
But if Justin Fields becomes a stud, Trey Lance becomes a stud, and they traded down out of 3 to 12, then back to 6, and basically signifies Tua's our guy. We're going to get him more weapons. So at 6, I fully expect them to go Kyle Pitts potentially. There's a lot of smoke to the Jamar Chase of the Bengals, reunite him with Joe, which stylistically I get, but like,
no,
man, if there's these two, and I'm not gonna watch O-line left tackle tape, but if there's a Penny Sewell who, my girl said his name's out like a fucking pasta. Or the Penny Sewell, please. But if there's a good to great prospect at left tackle, and a lot of the reason why your franchise quarterback got hurt last season is because the O-line is fucking terrible. Like, I know Jamar Chase is a bright and shiny object, but like, I don't understand how you pass. Whatever, man. The Bengals are going to Bingo. The Bengals are going to Cincinnati. They go Cincinnati, bro. So likely, I would guess potentially like they're going to give Tua a weapon at 6, whether that's Chase if he's there, whether that's Kyle Pitts. Like if their evaluation on Tua is wrong, I know that they have because of this San Francisco trade, they have basically, I believe it's 2 first-round picks for the following 2 seasons. And everyone's like, well, if Tua's not the guy, they can just bundle those, have those assets. And like, there has to be like a dance. Like, you have to have someone like a team to dance with. Like, if if there's another team that wants to draft a quarterback, like, why the fuck am I going to trade you? Like, fuck you. Like, you had your chance. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's all I'm going to say.
But I do think having those picks gives them a little, it just sets them at ease a little bit. Like, they're like, when it's to the point where they're like, okay, we're going to give to a chance this year. But at least we do have the ammo to move around a little bit. Maybe we can't get into the top 3 or top 4 if we need to. But, you never know. I don't know what quarterbacks are coming out in the next 2 years. So
right.
Yeah, at least you have options to move around if you can. They're not going to be, stuck. I mean, NFL today, it's not like that anymore. Where if you draft the wrong quarterback, your franchise is doomed for the next 5 or 6 years. It's not like that anymore. Like you could literally move on very quickly. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see how that plays out. But I just thought that was interesting. The Eagles move down, to 12 to see, trying to see what they're doing. Dolphins move down, then back up. San Francisco moves up. It's just interesting. I love the action, man. Like I want to see more of this.
It's fun. It's fun.
Wouldn't mind seeing the Saints do a trade before the draft. Like they got to do this draft day shit. Well, I'm just watching fucking NFL Network, and then that Fleur Leaf pops up.
Oh God! Oh shit!
There's a trade. The Saints have moved up. I'm like, fuck!
Here we go.
They're about to do some stupid shit.
Dumb, just dumb, and that's why we were talking. We were talking about on Twitter. Everyone said like this year. I mean, I already requested the day off of the draft from work, completely off. Got the vacation day. First round of the draft, we were going to set it up and have a live stream. We don't know if we're going to do it on YouTube and do a live stream that way. We don't know if we're going to do it on Zoom and like just record it all and then post it and just have it being like an open invite and just be like a whole Saints draft bonanza. But round one, bro, like we from the start of the draft until the end, we gonna fucking have fun. Because we know some shenanigans are going to happen, bro. Like, it's...
Shenanigans.
It is set in stone. I want to see the reaction to Saints fans when the Saints draft, like, Caleb Farley, who just had a bacotomy. Like, I want to...
It's going to happen, man. As soon as I seen that shit, I'm like, oh, he getting drafted.
Like, they might move up to draft that nigga, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I literally heard the press conference in my ears. Like, we had him graded as a top 10 prospect. To have him fall to us. Look, it's great to have him a part of the team. It's a great prospect. I can just see it, man.
And so, speaking of Caleb Farley, actually also getting credit to Tony Pauline. So, when the back surgery was announced, like, and Adam Schefter, like he's appeasing the agents and he's making it sound like, like it was outpatient surgery.
Oh, yeah, that shit.
One thing I appreciate about Tony, and hopefully we can. I'm trying to potentially. He said he's willing to come back on the show. We're trying to figure out a date and a time, maybe this Friday. I don't know when, but Tony had said that he wants. He's willing to come on the show prior to the draft so we can ask him some Saints related questions. But the show that he did with Trey Wingo on the podcast, Tony keeps it real. Tony said, like, people are kind of trying to downplay, like, the significance of this back surgery for Caleb Farley at Virginia Tech. And he was like, there are people, like, in the NFL, like this one's going to cost in the fall. Like, it's a back surgery, and he didn't play last year. Like, right. That's a double. So, like, your back already hurt, and you didn't even tackle nobody last year?
And he got hurt the year prior to that. like
Bruh,
in a year where like medicals are questionable and you don't have all the intel you need, I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole in the first round. Would not touch him. But he'll be a Saint.
right. That shit in stone, bro. It's crazy. Like, we speaking about medicals, and shout out to our guy Scott Wright, who kind of peeped me and you to fucking Jalen Phillips, and we watched them like that night, and we was just like, oh, this nigga can play. Oh. Then he at Miami's pro day, he had a, I think he ran like a 4.4 or some shit like that. Like, just an athlete, bro. like he's in the cloud of players. Like my cloud of players, I'm gonna tweet it out at some point when I finally have it all finalized. But the players that I might want at 28, like he is high in that cloud, bro. He is like Scott said, he retired from football. He had injuries. I don't care. His tape from last year from like the edge position is highly impressive.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
And it takes, I know we kind of look for the same things in edges. So for us to be impressed as watching an edge rusher, like you gotta be good, bro. Like we gotta see it. And I put on one game and I was like, oh shit, this nigga can ball. I mean, he may have worked himself in such a lackluster edge class. Like he may have worked himself out of the Saints range, honestly.
Yeah. I think so, because just the way, pass rush is, it's highly valued. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes, higher than we are, 28, but, we'll see. Yeah, man, I don't have a cloud yet. I ain't gonna lie. I've been fucking lazy with prospects, bro. I haven't really studied. I mean, we did our few, J.C. Horn and Mac Jones. I looked at a little bit of Tony. I looked at Jalen Phillips. I looked at I can't remember who, but it's like I've been lazy, man. So I need to get my cloud together. That's pretty much the most I can do, man. Like I see all my young Twitter, Saints Twitter folks, they telling me who the Saints should draft in the fourth round, the third round and shit. I'm like, man, I don't care.
I don't even know who them niggas could draft at 28.
I don't care.
You know what's funny? Because obviously we're getting older, so it's gonna make us sound like fucking old heads. But that used to be me.
Exactly. That's why I loved it. I'm like, bro, I'll tell you, I'll tell you exactly what I used to do. I would go to the CBS Sports, their little draft page. I would just literally copy and paste. They have a whole list of all the prospects. I just copy and paste that shit in the Excel, format that shit up, and I just go down the list and watch everything I can find on each and every prospect, and watch probably about 100 something of them. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it some of them out. I'll look at the height, weight, speed, position and shit like that. I'll probably focus on certain positions more than others. I ain't watching no damn offensive linemen, or no fullbacks and all that shit.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And I just go through the list and watch as many as I can, like a fucking maniac, bro. I don't pay bills. I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? What the hell was wrong with me, bro? Sitting there watching these dudes now, man. I watch 20, 30 at the most, and I'm done. It's a wrap.
Oh man, I don't even get that many in.
You know what I'm saying?
It just doesn't happen, man.
And you know what? I actually find it more enjoyable after the draft to watch the players that we do draft.
Yes.
You can really do a deep dive.
Yes.
Watch every single clip you can find, break it down and all that shit. I really enjoy that shit because I just got so tired of every year you watch all these players and you focus on them, and the Saints take fucking OT from Timbuktu State. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
Yeah, man. It's so funny because it's so true. Because it's we hype ourselves you think it's like when you're younger and you make your Christmas list, right? You give it to your parents. And you all hype oh man, I put down everything. Even if I don't get that, maybe I'll get this and blah blah blah. And Christmas fucking comes and Christmas Day, and you start opening all your gifts. These motherfuckers didn't get you a single thing off your list.
A red sweater, a fucking
some pajamas, some socks,
flippers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't get you the Nerf toy. They didn't get you the video game, the gaming system. None of that shit. That's such a great point, bro. That's what watching these prospects. Perfect example. Xavier Collins, right? Had seen a little bit about him. Wanted to watch him. I think I watched him Thursday night, Friday of last week, and he's a player, right? And I kind of went on a little, like a mini tweet storm tweeting about him. Yeah, man. Like the draft Nick in me comes out from time to time. Like he's a player, and I could just see him like next to DeMar. Like he's not perfect. Like don't ask him to be a force in the run game, because bro, when offensive linemen get on him, like he's done. But I saw him take one drop like in coverage in a zone, and the way he did his drop, like it sounds so simple, but just the like athleticism in that drop, like he dropped so fast, like 10 yards. I said, God damn. And like his coverage, and I could just envision it. And will the Saints probably draft him? No. So like, why did I end up watching him? I don't know. Like, like to this day, are we going to sign Brett Hundley, and so I can finally like complete that circle?
Oh, jeez.
Probably not. But it's gonna be fun, and the Saints still got work to do, man. I am even kiltered of the current state of the roster, and I know it's not done, but like as it currently sits, I don't know. Like
I think they're okay. They're not better. They're not a better team than they were last year.
I think Jameis being the quarterback is such a variance, bro.
Huge variance, huge. But just take the quarterback out. Like as a team outside the quarterback, I don't think they're a better team than last year. Obviously, I mean, you lose Jack Rabbit, you lose Trey Hendrickson, you lose
Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders. Since you won by like dudes like Sheldon Rankins and all those, they were depth. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys. So Anzalone, getting cooked by Lenny, but hey, Anzalone stole some games. You know what I'm saying? So Anzalone held his own in pass coverage a lot of times and shit like that. So those are players that's gone that aren't there. You know what I'm saying? So depth wise, it's not a better team, but I think. Like, I'm such a big believer in offensive line and defensive line, man. I think overall the Saints have a pretty good offensive line. And even with all the losses to the defensive line, I think they have enough there to be a pretty good defensive line. I think, like, you take care of those two spots, man, it just makes everything else a little bit better, bro. Like, I think the Saints are still pretty good in the trenches. And they can get better through draft or whether they sign somebody or whatever. I think they're okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about Super Bowl and all that shit, but they're not a dumpster fire yet. You know what I'm saying? So they got time. They got time to get better. And it's outside the quarterback position. We'll see where that goes. But look, Jameis, man, like, I don't know. Like I said, I was watching his highlights earlier, and I was just like, man, Jameis might cook this year, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I was just thinking about it, like, if he could just control himself, he could cook. I really want to see the Saints get just at least one more weapon, man. Whether it's a running back, a tight end, a wide receiver, just another weapon, man. Something, man. Somebody that could really just force defense to be like, fuck, we got to play it for this guy. You know what I'm saying? Just one more.
Like I tweeted to you, bro. Sean said you better enjoy Nick Burnett, bro.
Enjoy that shit.
That's all you get, Negro.
So you better make it work.
And like we talked about free agency a little bit. Let me just go over some free agents that's still out there not signed. Melvin Ingram.
Wow.
KJ Wright. Richard Sherman. Who else? Cordero Patterson. Alden Smith. Rashad Breeland. Like Casey Hayward. Like they're still like players.
Casey Hayward, he just must. I don't think he wants to be signed yet, man. Because like, why the fuck does he not sign?
Yeah, it's confusing. It's confusing.
Is Barrett signed the little short corner?
Yeah. The Niners signed him back on a 1-year deal.
Barrett signed and not Casey Hayward. That's crazy.
Isn't it? But like in terms of like weapons, like there ain't a whole bunch of quote unquote like weapons out in the market. There's defenders, there's some cornerbacks, but like they're in their 30s. And I know the NFL kind of, shies away when cornerbacks turn 30, but like this is a draft that's still deep at wide receiver. The Saints have 3 third-round picks. Like, I don't know if that's going to include some moving around. I'm pretty sure it will. Maybe the moving up higher in the second round. They got to get another weapon. Yeah. It's a must. It's a must.
It is, man. I agree. Like, they need to draft one. And
like if you like the starting, like if you update Madden rosters right now after post free agency, the Saints starting wide receivers are Mike Thomas, Traquan Smith, Marquez Callaway, and them sprinkling in Deontay Harris in throughout the offense, and Troutman, at the tight end position, like. Okay. All right. I don't love it. Don't love it. What were your thoughts? I guess I'll ask you this as we kind of wrap up. One of my guys in my cloud at 28 was Tooney. What were your thoughts watching Tooney?
I mean, from what I saw of him, he was like perfect, man. Just from what I saw of him, like just put him in the Saints uni. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, part of me thought like, hey, he'd be perfect for Drew Brees. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just kind of keep putting it in my mind, like, okay, this is a Jameis Winston offense, and I really want him to get like a big receiver. I want him to get like a Mike Evans type of tree, but I don't know if that guy is in this class. Like, I haven't found him yet. I put it like that.
The closest I would say to that player, and like he's a compounding player, but I would say the closest to that player is Rashad Bateman from Minnesota. Like I watched some of him. So if you watch his tape last year on like a COVID shortened season, like you are not going to come away impressed. Like it will leave a very gross taste in your mouth. But if you watch his first 3 seasons at Minnesota, buddy, reminds me of how Courtland Sutton for the Broncos plays. Like his first 3 seasons at Minnesota, I was like, that's a number 1 wide receiver. Like there's no doubt in my mind, like that's a number 1, WR1 at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
But then, his tape last year just did not look good at all. I even hit up one of his biggest supporters. Shout out to Thor, who runs kind of like the NBC Sports, like draft college football players things, and like updates those blurbs of the former Roto World. Thor follows me on Twitter, and I know he's a big Rashad Bateman fan. And I was like, bro, like what is up? Like I was just confused. Like I was like, what happened last year? Like I need answers. He's like offense change, and like the quarterback is a different quarterback, and whatever. But that's the only player in the potential range that may be available for the Saints at 28 that I can think of that could fit that bill. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's not many, because like that wide receiver position has kind of changed and evolved. Like beyond like Jamar Chase, like there's there are some dogs, but they're dogs in completely different ways from like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get it, man. But like, there's still 3-4 weeks left, you know, of us trying to figure things out. Like I was gonna like, do I want to do a deep dive in Kansas City, you know, defensive end? I was like, like let me wait. Let me wait for the Saints to do a little. Like if they sign Richard Sherman, like I'm watching Richard Sherman, and I'm just gonna, you know, we'll break it down on the podcast. We'll do an episode. But like, do I really want to do that for Kansas City to know? Nah. Not gonna waste my time watching Nick Bennett film from the Broncos, bro. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Doing it, bro.
No, might hit up our dude Eric and be like, "Hey, give me the skinny on Nick Bennett." But like, that's
for real.
That as far as that goes. One last thing before we get out. Anything from any of these pro days that have like kind of like took you by surprise, or just, you know, your make your ears perk up or anything like that?
Nothing.
Right.
Surprising.
Right.
Everybody running 4.3s. All the quarterbacks are looking great. I'm looking at Kyle Trask right now on the NFL Network, and he's looking great at a pro day. Of course he is. You know what I'm saying? Like
why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. And Kyle Trask is interesting, man, because like he ain't getting like everybody. He's getting that Herbert treatment from last year. Like, ugh.
Wait, who is?
Kyle Trask.
Oh, Kyle Trask is trash. That's probably why. But I will say it's very these things about Justin Fields, man.
Oh man, I knew it, bro. I swear to God, I knew it, man. Like just last year, I could just feel it in the breeze that this dude gonna get all kinds of knocks on him. Come draft season, he is gonna get all the knocks. I knew it was coming, man. I knew it. You know, everything was all about Justin Fields. Justin Fields is gonna be Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. I'm like, boy, they coming for your neck come draft season, boy. Now he's like the fourth, fifth quarterback now. Like,
come on, bro. Isn't that some shit? Listen, I will say this. I have watched quite a few Ohio State's games where Justin Fields has been the quarterback. And shout out to, I think she follows both of us. She's a 49ers fan, tall ass. I can't even think of her handle. But the analogy she made is that Justin Fields of this draft season will end up like Justin Herbert of last draft season. When I watched Justin Fields in most Ohio State games, I honestly was kind of underwhelmed. Like I saw it in glimpses, but like I didn't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense. And she made that tweet yesterday, a couple of days ago, and I was like, shit, you might be right. Because I did not, like, I saw it in one game with Justin Herbert. I've seen it in one game with Justin Fields, with, you know, when he got his ribs broke and still beat Clemson in a playoff game, whatever. So she could be right on the money in regards to that analogy. And then, like, it's so weird because some of the same shit that was coming out about Dwayne Haskins and like his quote unquote character not being blah blah, like those whispers are coming out about Justin Fields. So is this like, is there merit to that, or is this just draft season where you're just knocking a player down because you want him to fall in the draft? I don't know, bro.
Anonymous scouts, man. Patrick Claiborne, tell you, anonymous scouts, they out here, man. They don't say nothing after the draft.
No, bro, they get quiet as shit, bro.
For the draft, man, they out here. Like, where they at after the draft? I don't know. Like, they don't even no checkup after the draft. Like, hey, what were your thoughts? You know, I know these were your thoughts back then. What are your thoughts now, anonymous scout? No, nothing. We don't get a checkup or nothing. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said about all these quarterbacks, man. We don't know shit. We don't know.
We don't.
But all you can do is look at the talent. And Justin Fields is a talented quarterback, man. He's a talented thrower of the football. He leaves some things to be desired. He stares down guys. He, you know, makes the wrong reads and shit like that.
He does. Like I feel like people saying that, like I don't like that was such a thing. And like Justin Fields absolutely stares down wide receivers. Like
No question.
I don't like, and like that's coming up this draft season. People are like coming out with pitchforks, like, oh, what are you talking about? Just like, god damn, like I'm just evaluating the guy. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm black. Like,
man. He has issues, bro.
I saw this on Twitter, and we don't know what's going to happen in the draft, but can I just say that if the Atlanta Falcons at 4 overall, so if it goes quarterback, which is likely to happen. So let's say it goes, in theory, Lawrence, Wilson, Mac Jones, just in theory, right? And the Falcons have their choice to pick between Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and they either choose to draft, I don't know, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, or as Alt Breer has potentially speculated on, may trade that 4th overall pick to like a team that wants to come up, whether that's the Panthers, which would be super fucking weird, or like the Broncos, for them to come up and draft a quarterback, like, and one of those quarterbacks hit, bliss.
And it's funny because like the Falcons encapsulate what I hate. Like, I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm a believer in defensive line and offensive line, and it's like they, to their credit, they have addressed the offensive line. Like, they have like drafted offensive linemen like pretty much every year. They get it wrong a lot, but they have addressed it. And and some of that stuff is hard to know. Like, is it coaching or whatever? Like, it's bad luck, whatever. I don't know. But like, for me, like, the offensive, like ever since Matt Ryan been playing, the key has always been the offensive line. Like, if you can protect Matt Ryan, he is an upper echelon quarterback for you. Like, always, I don't care who he's throwing to. Like, if he has an offensive line, he's gonna cook for you. You know what I'm saying? And same for the defensive line. If you give them a defensive line, like, they are, they're pretty a tough out, man. But like, they all built on the outside now. Like, they draft cornerbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and all that shit. But y'all ain't shit in the trenches, and that's why the Saints whoop their ass every year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you Taysom Hill at quarterback, just whooping their ass twice in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Just whoop their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, unless Arthur Smith understands that, and my man Terry Fontenot. And I'm sure Terry. I think Terry wants a quarterback. I think Terry he's looking at that cap next year, like Matt Ryan's cap hit.
That cap hit?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Because
there's somebody who don't care about the cap, but
they've out-Saints the Saints in terms of how much dead money they pushed back on Matt Ryan's contract.
Bro, it's gross. It's gross. Like, I would go and get Trey Lance and ball out with Matt Ryan this year, see where it goes, and then we rolling with Trey Lance from here on out, buddy. Because I like Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still green. I think he's still green. So, I mean, it would be just the perfect spot.
Perfect, bro.
Just chill for a year, maybe come in on spot duty, and, maybe say if they blowing somebody out, come in, or maybe come in at the end of the year, maybe play 2 games or something. That'd just be that's the perfect spot.
That's what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes.
And it would set the Falcons up for like the next 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure would.
But, go in that Kyle Pitts water, man. I like Kyle Pitts. Like, I haven't studied Kyle Pitts. Like, from I saw him, I mean, the dude a dog. He a dog. I can't shake this bus. Like this, I don't know. I just get this bus feeling, man. I can't shake it.
I don't get a buzz feeling, but man, when Scott came on our show and he was like kind of slandering Kyle Pitts, but like as the draft season's going on, I was like, yo, Scott's kind of right, bro. Like, Daniel Jeremiah really has Kyle Pitts, his number 2 player in the draft.
He's been rocking Kyle Pitts hard.
So so I'm just saying positionally, if Jamar Chase is the same Jamar Chase that we saw 2 seasons ago, you're telling me that a generational tight end, I shouldn't even say generational because those players come let's say generational. Let's say if both players hit to their potential, you're telling me that a generational tight end is going to override a generational wide receiver? Or I can't. I get Kyle Pitts just another tight end, so he's going to be used formationally just like you would I can't, bro. I love Kyle Pitts, but like Scott was on the money when he came on the show. He was like as high as he's going to go. Like I don't know, and I get it now. I really do. I get it. I get where he was saying.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if he hits his potential, I mean, he could be one of the best tight ends that ever played. He can.
Yes.
But, I mean, to me, like, I mean, obviously Gronk is like the gold standard as far as like being able to block the run game, pass game, and be a dangerous pass catcher when he was in his prime.
Right.
You know, I don't know if that's Kyle Pitts.
It's not. It's not.
And that's fine. Like, nothing wrong with that. Like, that's like if he's like he could be a 1,600-yard tight end and be like Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying?
I think for Kyle Pitts to justify this height in terms of the formationally of how they play the game, he needs to be Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
He needs to be Jimmy Graham if Jimmy Graham never left the Saints. Like, he needs to, because that's
2011 Jimmy Graham. Yes,
that needs to be him. Because just like Jimmy Graham wasn't a blocker. Jimmy Graham got used all over the field. That's what Kyle Pitts is. You didn't ask Jimmy to block. Like, you ask him to fucking go out and abuse linebackers and safeties. That's what Kyle Pitts needs to be. But he needs to be 2011 Jimmy Graham for like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham was taken into the 3rd round, bruh. Like, Kyle Pitts may go like 5th, 6th overall in the draft. Like,
exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's wild, bro. Like, that's wild.
I mean, look, Ben Watson was that athletic coming out when he came up. Like, he looked studly just like that. So
and he went like lower in round 1 to the Patriots, I believe. Where's the Patriots? Where did you drop?
Yeah. Or was it Denver? It was the Patriots. Patriots drafted him. He drafted him high. They drafted him high, and you know, it took him a while. It took Ben Watson a while. And I ain't saying it's gonna be like that with Kyle Pitts because offenses have learned to use the tight end, but it's still one of those positions that's kind of, I don't know, it can go to sleep for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you got a offensive play caller that really understands how to use them, like Sean Payton, like like Kyle Shanahan and those guys. But if he fuck around and he go to, I don't know. I mean,
could you imagine? Okay, so let's think about the Kyle Pitts places he could go. Theoretically, he could go to Atlanta, even though I don't really see it. But like theoretically, he could go there. Arthur Smith, Arthur Smith cooked with Jonnu Smith, whatever in Tennessee. 5th overall, he goes to the Bengals. You trust in
oh, gross.
What's his name?
I don't even know the head coach name. Zach Taylor?
Yeah, Zach. You trust in Zach Taylor to cook up a game playing with Kyle Pitts?
What does Zach Taylor look like? What does Zach Taylor look like? Like, if Zach Taylor knocked on your door right now, would you know that Zach Taylor?
Absolutely not, bro.
I would not know. I'd be like, excuse me, how can I help you? Like, why you knocking on my door, bro? I'd have absolutely no idea who he is. I don't know what he looks like, man. Does he exist?
I'm laughing so hard because it's true, bro.
This man running a fucking NFL, billion-dollar NFL team, man.
Like, he can come to the door like in like his Bengals attire with the headset on. I'd be like,
everything. Can I help you?
This Halloween, bro. I don't got no candy grown ass man at my door. Like, what are you doing?
I have no idea what he looks like, bro. No idea.
Or so Kyle Pitts' range is like, I would say 4 to 6, or maybe 4 to 7. So 6 would be the Dolphins, and him paired with Tua. I don't know.
That might cook though. I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know, man.
Right there, that might be the spot.
It could be, because for Tua being like a shorter quarterback, like Mike Gesicki balled out, and I'm a big Mike Gesicki.
Out.
Yeah,
that was his best weapon, honestly.
Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And Ryan. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like Gesicki is like that was their guy. Like, so I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, and I just keep every time I watch Pitts, I'm like, man, he's so good, but damn, I get this little bust. Just, I don't know, man.
I don't get the bust, but I understand Scott's point of view more now than ever. I think his floor is Detroit at 7.
Yeah.
Can you buy Kyle Pitts, T.J. Hawkinson with Jared Goff? Ugh. And Joe is Joe Lombardi calling plays?
No, Joe Lombardi Chargers, bro.
Oh, Chargers, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. He was already with Detroit. I don't know who the offensive coordinator is for the fucking Lions, but
probably a former football player. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, man. It's there's a lot of plots. Like, I think this draft is gonna have a lot of intrigue. We already saw fucking two moves within the top 10, like a month before the draft. Like, if that's a precursor, like, we better fucking buckle up. So anyway, we wanted to get this episode out. We know we hadn't put out anything in a while because of our vacation, so we got this out. Next week, both two friends of the podcast, both Anusha and Sophia, have reached out. They want to come on the show. Anusha has recently done a really great article for the LA Times talking about highlighting women of color who have women of color who have kind of transitioned of promoting their own platform for their own content and kind of creating their own content platforms. She spoke with Ava DeVrunay. So Anusha has a great article out that we're going to talk to her about. Sophia specifically, on Twitter asked to come on the show talking about fucking black holes and wormholes, and she only had to ask. She only had to ask what, bruh? I said, what? Shit. Done. And then I don't know when it's going to happen, but hopefully we can get Tony Pauline. I'm trying to hit him up for maybe this Friday, try to get him on the show, talk about Saints news, what he's maybe hearing, how they want to go in the draft at 28. Also kind of talk about, if he heard last year, because when we got him on, part of the reason we want to get Tony on is kind of like our year anniversary, because the first episode we got Tony on. So to kind of come full circle, but when he came on our first episode last year around draft time, the first episode we did, he was kind of linking the Saints to wide receivers, whether it was Jalen Reagor, Brandon Ayuk, just really focused, saying that they want to go that direction. And it sounds like, from what I was able to pick up on and kind of gather, is that as soon as Justin Jefferson was drafted, their plans changed, and it led to them drafting Cesar Ruiz. So we kind of talked to Tony about, the last draft pick the Saints had, like Cesar Ruiz, Zach Bond, like, it's not looking good. And if, what he may know from them as players, and also looking forward to this draft. So hopefully that can happen. We can get Tony on ASAP. And then keep being on the lookout for Saints news, man. See what's happening, if they sign anyone. And hopefully, like we said earlier, that they address that cornerback 2 position before the draft in 28 days.
Yeah.
So
times are coming.
Oh man, yeah. It's the draft will be, even though they pushed it like super far back, because usually it's like the 3rd week of fucking April. Like it's fucking the last fucking week of April this month.
Forgot to mention right quick. 17-game season, bro.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Boy.
But it's 3 preseason games now, right?
Yes.
I think it's three preseason games. 17 fucking games, bro. God damn it.
Like I'm exhausted, not even emotionally anymore. I'm just tired after fucking a 16-game season when we go to the playoffs. Like, I gotta deal with one more fucking game?
Oh.
Why?
And then, man, those last games, such a drag. It's like,
why? Like this NFL is just all about money, bro. Like, they don't give two shits about player safety. Like,
especially like some teams like on a third string quarterback by that time, the team been ravaged with injuries. They just try to finish that motherfucker.
That's it. That's
like,
it.
Can they get an out? Can we give them an out at least? Like, look, just take a risk. Like, just chill. Like, I don't need to see another fucking Bengals game with fucking, I don't even know who they had at quarterback at the end of the season. Like, I don't want to see that shit.
Right?
Like, spend that shit, man. Oh, yeah, well.
Fucking gross. Anyway, so we do have, obviously, as always, content coming your way. Thanks for all our Patreon subscribers and donators. I think we're almost close to being out of the mask completely, but we do appreciate our people that support us. We truly appreciate it. And we'll be on the lookout for more NFL news, Saints Twitter news. Shout out to our guy, Dark Saint, who basically, like, he texted me. He said that shit was not the same in Saints Twitter. Like, everything changed when you fucking quote tweeted that bracket and said, I don't know what Saints Twitter this is, but I don't know anything. Nothing, like Drake said, bruh, nothing was the same since Saints.
Shit got crazy, boy.
Saints Twitter been a mess ever since, bro. Man, one quote tweet changed the entire complexion of fucking complexion. People was hitting me up like, hey, big fan of the show, but like bro, I'm just out here I have a full-time job that I care about and I love, that's draining me crazy, but I love it. So I do everything I do podcasting wise on Twitter. Like, I do that shit for fun. Like, that's not like my life. Like, that's
fun. That's
secondary, but you'd have changed the game. Well, that 2 weeks ago, 2.5.
Man,
nothing was the same. But anyway, we'll keep it coming. We'll keep it rolling as always. Thanks for all the support, listeners. We appreciate you guys. And with that, we're out.
Peace.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.